Well, hello everyone and welcome to live coverage, and I'm so glad that this can be live. I was actually worried it was going to go back down again today just to annoy me, but we do have live coverage for round 5 of the 2016 CRC World Championship. And I've still got goosebumps from the Grand Prix. I am absolutely delighted. I want to say, I am absolutely delighted for Max Verstappen. What a drive! And you have to say, the first of many. And I put on Twitter my prediction for 2017 Formula 1 World Champion will be Max Verstappen. So, I want to say I am absolutely delighted for Max Verstappen. But we are now have the CRC race here today. And we are around 17 minutes away from lights out. We've got the national anthem coming up. And by the way, I might have misworded it. I said Max Verstappen, 2017 Formula 1 World Champion. My prediction. But we are almost set for this race. It should be an interesting one. Got the national anthem coming up. And we are almost ready for the Turkish Grand Prix. But it's now time for the national anthem of Turkey, which the drivers are at the front of the grid, to the host of round 5 of the 2016 CRC World Championship. And that is the national anthem, as the drivers are at the front of the grid, obviously paying respect to the country. in what should be an interesting race. We are 10 minutes away. But it's going to be very exciting, this race should be. Of course, Turkey is a track that has produced good racing in the past. We saw some fantastic racing in the support races. Especially in the CGP2 race that we saw yesterday. We saw battling all over the show. But things to look out for. Obviously the TNS Rogers. See what the Dorks are going to do. And also see what the two Coons do. Because Rosie O'Driscoll is down. Rosie O'Driscoll's down in 10th. And Toby Jones is at the back of the grid. But it's going to be very interesting. So, we've got 11 minutes to go. Till the race starts. As they're just waiting for final preparations to be made. But it's going to be interesting to see if we saw a lot of incidents in the CGP3 race, particularly. As I'll be right back, then we almost time to go to the KSR coverage of the race. But we are now almost ready. We've got 8 minutes to go here at Istanbul Park. And we are just waiting. But one thing that is going to be very interesting because now there's not really much to talk about. But let's talk about who's going to go where, because there have actually been some hardy Baronessa rumours, because there obviously have been rumours going round since last year, since towards the back end of last year, that he's not happy at Gindana, and the team, because he seems to believe that the team, because towards the back end of last year, he seemed to believe that the team want him out. Because he seems to believe the team want him out soon. Particularly towards last year, he believed it. And there are just some rumours going around that he is not that happy at Gindana at the moment. Of course, this is his 3rd year at the team. In the first year, he was really competitive. He had a bit of an off-season last year, but he did pick everything back up. He did get some good results. And even though it was Baldwin who took the team's only win, he did really, most of the time, outperform Jack Baldwin. He most of the time outperformed him. So, of course, he had a bit of a tough year last year, but now it's time. It's time for the 2016 Turkish Grand Prix. Hello everyone, welcome to Istanbul, which plays host to round 5 of the 2016 CRC World Championship. We are here at the majestic track, which has not hosted F1 since 2011, but it is still a much loved venue in CRC. In what should be a very interesting Spanish Grand Prix. As, of course, we'll do our grid rundown as the drivers do their formation out. But the thing that's going to be very fascinating to see today, tyre strategy. Because obviously they have, a lot of teams have had running, but it's going to be very interesting to see how the strategies are going to play out today. So, and especially what tyres each of the drivers are going to use for today's race. We're hearing that both the Aston Rogues are going to be using the medium. Chantal Hawk on the soft tyres. That's going to be fascinating to see. To see how Chantal Hawk goes on those soft tyres. That's going to be absolutely fascinating to see. As we are waiting for the race to get underway. Hopefully we'll have the trouble-free live stream so you're all able to experience the race normally. As we're just getting into the game. Two minutes to go till the Turkish Grand Prix is going to get underway. Just loading the game. So we're just going to skip to the formation lap now. We're now just skipping to the race. Now we're moving over. Here we go. As the formation lap is about to get underway for race 5 of this 2016 season. And they're about to get underway on their formation lap. They've got the second window. It's just switched due to the scene. And now the field pulls away now. As Wood Essie's underway. So now it's time for the grid rundown. For round 5, the 2016 CRC World Championship. In pole position, it is championship leader and reigning champion Wood Essie ahead of Alex Moores in second. Hannah Duran lines up in third, ahead of Dan Lerner in fourth. Matt Coombs lines up in fifth, ahead of Chantal Hawk. Watch her on those soft tyres. Ahead of Will Buchan and Lucy Woodward. The Brown Assos make up row 4 on hard tyres. Jack Baldwin lines up in 9th, ahead of Rosie O'Driscoll. Watch her, she got held up in qualifying, so is out of position. Ahead of Karen Hardy in 11th. Abby Leggett lines up in 12th, ahead of Matthew Towson in 13th. Lucas Quintanilla lines up in 14th in the DMAD, ahead of Dan Phillips in 15th. Luke Julian lines up in 16th for Siegeby, ahead of Chloe Carter in 17th. Kerry Ann Peace in 18th. Max from Tagala disappointed with 19th, ahead of Tom Munger in 20th. Harvey Williams lined up in 21st. Ahead of Phoebe O'Connor. Watch those RCSs. They have better race pace. Ahead of David Bland in 23rd. Louise Morrow lines up in 24th. Ahead of Ben Blakemore in 25th. Bex Howie lined up in 26th. Elliot Everson 27th. James Lang 28th. Louis Hyde 29th. And rounding out the grid with a back of grid penalty, it is Toby Jones. And don't forget you can follow the race live that happens at KSRMotorsport.liveracers.com, so you can follow the race live that happens, get live info from each car. So, as the cars line up on the grid, Wesley gets into his grid spot. We've had trouble at the first corner in the last race. It's quite a tricky first corner at Istanbul Park. So, don't completely bet against there being a bit of trouble. So, Toby Jones, after his penalty from last time out, lines up at the back of the grid. But here we go. We're all set then. We have the lights at Istanbul Park. It's lights out and away we go. It's an awful start from Alex Moores and he's already lost out to Duran, but he makes contact with Wesley and then round he goes and he's round. And he's managed to get himself going again, but he's already dropped way down the order. And it looks like I think he has managed to get going a bit. Essie leads away from Duran. Coombs, Will Buchan is up into fourth, but under pressure from Shanto Hawk going into turn 3. But once again, Alex Moores drops to the back of the field at the first corner as you've got Abby Ledger making her way down the inside of Lucy Wood. But it's Essie that leads away from Duran. Coombs, we've got yellow flags out there once again. Essie leads the race. I think there might, as Harvey Williams has already retired from this race. We've got contact there at the back of the field. Alex Moores. Oh, we got a car off. That's Lucas Quintanilla already out of the race. And we have a safety car already in this early stage. So what happens to Lucas Quintanilla? So we have a safety car in this early stage, and I am pretty sure is for the incident involving Lucas Quintanilla. We didn't see what happened to Harvey Williams, but Lucas Quintanilla was upside down, but the safety car is out. But for the second race running, Alex Moores drops right to the back of the field. Got a car into the pits, I thought I heard. So, what happened to Lucas Quintanilla? So, where did this happen? So, Lucas Quintanilla, he was having quite lag is showing. I was quite surprised it was a safety car. Surely they'd be able to clear that car away. But we didn't see what happened. Maybe it was for the incident with Harvey Williams. So, oh, he lost it. So obviously they had two cars there. He went onto the curb and he spun it. So a bit of a chaotic start. So what happened to Alex Moores? But now Alex Moores has got to fight his way through the field. So off the start, he got away very poorly, did Alex Moores. Well, the launch itself wasn't bad. Duran got away really well. Alex Moores, I think, couldn't see Essie until the last second and made contact with Essie and spins. And then rejoins straight into the path of Jack Baldwin. Jack Baldwin has dropped right down to the back of the field. But safety car in this lap. So, a very short safety car period to clear away those stricken cars of Harvey Williams and Lucas Quintanilla, who are both out on the first lap. But it's the race leader who's now going to dictate the pace. But we need to see what Alex Moores can do from here. Toby Jones benefited from all that carnage and got up into 22nd. He benefited from it all, so he's got less work to do on the restart. He benefited from it all. As Wood Esley, this is the second race running that we've had a safety car in the early laps. As the restart is going to take place. They've just got this straight to go. Then the safety car will... In the other races that we've had this weekend, the cars have been released before the final corner. It's different with this track. Abby Ledger, shout out to Abby Ledger, up into 8th place in the Team Mossad by MAT. As the safety car is coming in. So, Esley is left to back up the field. Safety car in. So, as soon as they cross this line, and they're underway, we're racing again. Esley leads the way from Hannah Duran. So, they cross the line. Are we going to see any position changes as they head up towards the first corner? It's Esley that leads the way from Duran, Coombs, Hawke, Buchan, O'Driscoll, Milner, Leggett, Woodward, and Hardy rounding up the first corner. No one going for any moves that I saw going into the first corner. But it's been a very clean restart so far. I don't want to jinx it, but Chantel Hawke is starting to catch up to Matt Coombs. As Jack Baldwin gets... We got a car off, that's Toby Jones. He has been off, and that's ruined the progress that he has made. As Phoebe O'Connor battling it out here with Bex Howie. Bit of contact there, but what happened there with Toby Jones? Because he's now dropped down to the back of the field. But Esley has already started to streak clear in the Yanasaroka. But still, there is a long way to go in this race, so don't count out. Here's Alex Moores, who's already making progress. He's behind Louise Morrow in the battle for P19. He's going to have a look going into the chicane. Is he going to be able to make this one stick? Not quite. Yellow flag out there. I'm presuming that was at the back of the field. Oh, O'Connor has been off. So Phoebe O'Connor's had a problem. Oh, she managed to lose it at turn 8. Straight into the barrier. And that's probably her race ruined in the RTS. But Wood Esley sets the fastest lap of the race. But what happened to Toby Jones? We need to have a look. At turn 3. Oh, he got bashed round by Elliot Everson. But Phoebe O'Connor's race has already come to ruin. As here you've got Dan Miller, who's trying to get past Rosie O'Driscoll. You've got Will Buchan ahead on the hard tyre, who's holding these two up. There's Lucy Woodward under pressure from Matthew Towson, who's managed to get past Kieran Hardy. But Esley is, I mean, of course, door car closer, so it's not putting away as much as he would do before, but he is putting away. And so far, it's all... I mean, there is a long way to go, but so far in this race, it's all, so far, all gone right for Wood Esley. But Chantel Hawke is the person who needs to make the moves here, because she is right behind the master force of Matt Coombs in the battle for 3rd place. Is Chantel Hawke going to be able to make the move on Matt Coombs? He's gone to the inside to defend. But is she going to be able to pull the switch back? Matt Coombs there over defends though. Going into the penultimate corner. And Chantel Hawke gets the drive off the final corner. And Chantel Hawke has managed to defend, has managed to take 3rd place from Matt Coombs. And that's a crucial move for her strategy. As here goes O'Driscoll. A very bold move down the inside of Will Buchan. I think she has made that one stick. Buchan there loses out there to Dan Milner, I think. But a very bold move. Buchan doesn't quite lose out, but great move there from Rosie O'Driscoll. As here comes Dan Milner down the inside of Will Buchan. And I think he's made that one stick. Of course, Buchan struggling on those hard tyres, modified for this race. But let's have a look at that. That was just pure instinctive driving. Eventually, Buchan just had absolutely no choice but to back out. That was quite some move from, as Buchan aiming, trying to go back on the Masterforce down towards the hairpin at turn 14, but can't quite get it done. Abby Leggett being passed here by Lucy Woodward. Lucy Woodward is ahead. As Chantel Hawke sets the fastest lap of the race, Kieran Hardy's got ahead of Matthew Towson. Obviously, Chantel Hawke on those soft tyres. But a good lead that SC has at the moment. Alex Moore's not been really watching him, but he's already up into 15th. So where can he get in this race? I think maybe a podium might be a bit of a tall order, but maybe quite well into the points if he can get some good points. As he runs very wide going into... A lot of cars are doing that because obviously with the dirty air of the cars ahead. Of course, Alex Moore's... Everyone's just settling into a rhythm now. Of course, before the first round of pit stops, of course, Chantel Hawke will be first to come in. Out of the top guys. And girls, of course. And look at the speed. Alex Moore's had to back out there to avoid ramming into the back of Max Wundagala. As he ahead, you've got Kieran Hardy going down the inside of Abby Leggett in the battle for P10. There's Alex Moore's. Look at the safety car, because the safety car would have made the drivers able to conserve tyres a little bit more. As Alex Moore's, I think, is going to get past Luke Julian here down into turn 1. Not quite, though. But he's got the drive. I think he's going to easily do it here. Yep, he is. But because Chantel Hawke's been able to conserve her tyres, could she possibly be able to do just 2 stops? I mean, she's the quickest on the track right now. I'm pretty sure Duran is going to be asked not to make life too difficult for the Dork Racing driver. But if Dork are going to be able to convert Hawke to a 2-stop, could she possibly have a chance to win here today? Especially considering her pace. As here you can see, she's got the run on Duran. Duran goes to the inside to defend. But I think Hawke is going to be there before the braking zone. And she is. So Chantel Hawke has taken 2nd place from her teammate. A crucial move there for the Dork Racing driver. Towson's now got ahead of Leggett in that ongoing battle at the back end of the points. Alex Moores has managed to get past Zoe Carter and is now right behind Kerry-Ann Peace. Oh, straight down the inside. Tried to do exactly what Rosie O'Driscoll was able to do, but he then runs wide, trying to avoid the Locky of Kerry-Ann Peace. It's all kicking off in that section of the field, so we need to monitor the gaps between Chantel Hawke and Wood Esley. 2.1 at the moment. But we need to monitor the gap. It's 2.1 as they head down the straight. And then connection to the live racers, which is telling me all that information, has not been lost. Which has been telling me all of this information. So it'll be nice to have an idea of the gaps, but to see the rate that Hawk is actually starting to catch up to Wesley. But of course, when the time, she's going to need to do all this. She's going to need to go quickly in the early stage of the stint, because then the soft tyres are going to go. And if she is trying to convert to a 2-stop, that could give DOTW the advantage. But particularly at the beginning of stint, she's going to have quite an advantage. Yellow flag out. Oh, that's Louise Morrow has gone off at turn 3. She was on her own, so I'm presuming she just went off on her own. These upgrades really have not worked, I don't think, the way RTS expected them to. The upgrades have not worked. Because it seems to have such a good front end on the car. I've got the gaps back up now. It's 2.0. It's now. Let's have a look at them when they're on a straight. It's 1.9. So Hawk took 0.2 out of Wesley on that since live races went. As Alex Moore is getting past Abby Leggett. Matthew Tewson battling it out with Kieran Hardy, his former teammate. He's going to go for the move down in towards turn. Oh, he spun it! Matthew Tewson has been bashed round there. And he's into the wall. Matthew Tewson has lost his rear wing. And he's going to be out of the race. Matthew Tewson is out of the Turkish Grand Prix. He's got no rear wing, so I'm pretty sure he's going to have to retire. But let's have a look at what happened. It was quite aggressive from Tewson. Hardy then, I think that was a racing incident, to be honest. That was a racing incident, to be honest, because Hardy did know he was there, but still turned in. And you got another yellow out there somewhere. Trying to check what it was. Something regarding Jones and Mongol, I think. Nothing in the top 10. This yellow flag. And look at Chantal Hawk here. She is now really closing the gap to the DOTW. Abby Leggett, I think that's what the yellow flag was for. I think Abby Leggett had some sort of issue. Oh, she went off. I think she just completely missed her braking point. That's not going to do the tyres any good. As here is Matt Coombs right behind Hannah Duran. Chantal Hawk is now starting to get DRS from Wesley here. And I'm starting to get the impression she is going to make the pass soon, as Kieran Hardy gets a very bad exit off the final corner. I'm pretty sure Alex Moores is going to get through soon. Alex Moore's already getting back into the point. He makes the move down the inside of Kieran Hardy. But I'm pretty sure his stop is going to be extended. Now they're side by side. Heading up towards turn 3. Hardy goes onto the curb. And Alex Moores takes the place. Because we know how much of a quick car Yanasa Roga have. And this is where I think Hawk might have a bit of a problem. Because Yanasa Roga has a considerably more power in a straight. Then, of course, Hawk will have the advantage of DRS, but it's a question of how long it is going to be before the door makes the move. But she could have a chance of winning this race if she really... But if she wants to win this race, she is going to have to make the move soon. Of course, known for being a driver that goes for a lot of extremely aggressive moves, Hawk is. We saw this many times in 2012 in particular. She went for so many aggressive moves and made them work. And that's probably the thing that she's best at. She seems to know when to make moves. So is she going to be able to pick the right time this time? She's a lot closer to Will than she was last lap. She's got the advantage of DRS. Is Essie going to go defensive? Hawk goes to the inside. I think Essie's not going to fight that one too much. There's a bit of contact, but Hawk has taken the lead of the Turkish Grand Prix. And now, the big question is going to be, how long can Hawk go on those soft tyres? As Coombs takes third, or does he? Because Duran's still alongside. It's going to be who's latest on the brakes going into the first corner. Coombs has taken the position. And look how much Essie's fallen back. I think he knows that Hawk is on a different strategy, but Yanasa Roker, I'm pretty sure, will be wanting Essie to turn the wick up a little bit, because let's work this out. If Hawk can go to lap 20, which is around yellow out there somewhere. Toby Jones, I think it was, who's been in a bit of strife once again. Once again going off at turn. He's going for quite a few aggressive moves. But if Hawk does 19 laps, she needs to get 20 laps out of the soft tyre if she wants to do a two-stop. She needs to get 20 laps out of the soft tyre. So, because if 19 laps, she'd come in on lap 38, and then she'd have to make a stop on the penultimate lap. Oh, Hawk's in already! So we were thinking, so she's not going to get the tyres. She's not managed to make the tyres last. So Chantal Hawk exits the pits in P7 immediately after taking the lead. The tyres are clearly gone. So she is clearly on a 3-stop. We were thinking that the safety car might help. As Phoebe O'Connor gets down the inside of Louis Hyde. Duran has managed to repass Coombs. But we were thinking the safety car might help Hawk make her tyres last. So that's 17 of the Turkish Grand Prix. Chantal Hawks managed to get past Will Buchan. And that's crucial, so she'll probably end up in the lead after the pit stops, but this race is between Will Estley and Chantal Hawk, I think. Because on those soft tyres, if she has the pace, as Toby Jones gets past down for this, but if she has the pace, then and pulls away at the rate that she needs to, of course she would need to pass Will Estley out on track, but it's certainly doable. As Chantal does set a fastest lap of the race on a 22.8, so that's electric pace that she's going at. And what's turning into being a fascinating race here at Istanbul. Still 40 laps to go. As now you're on board with Leggett, who's trying to get past the two rookies, who are both having a good race. So lap 18. HWR into the pits on these soft tyres. And Speed Tech. Oh, Coombs and Duran still going at it. And O'Driscoll's trying to buy into this as well. Who's going to be first on the brakes? But whoever it is, they need to be careful, because there's O'Driscoll right behind. Duran keeps the place. These two have been fighting it out for quite some time. Now Rosie O'Driscoll's getting in on the act. In the battle for what is effectively third place, of course, currently second on the road. Yellow out there. Somewhere. Who's had a problem, I wonder? And it's Louise Morrow again, trying to pass the HWR. Spinning it, actually going upside down. Got a yellow out there again. Trying to find out what it is. Oh! Milner's gone off at the corner that ended his race last year. He was hitting the points. And Alex Moores gets through on an attempt to pass Rosie O'Driscoll, spinning on the curb. And lucky no one hit him. So lap 20, this is when we should expect the first of the medium tyre runners to pit. And Duran's already got her pit signal on. No sign of it yet for Willisey, but I would be pitting this lap if I were Estley, because, and the reason for that is because, obviously, with Hawk on these soft tyres, knowing that she could easily win this race if they don't get this strategy right, and she gets the strategy spot on. Yep, he is pitting a slap. Matt Coombs doesn't have his signal on yet. So, into the pits comes Woodesly, the race leader, and don't forget, he may have an extended stop due to the contact with Alex Moores. It might be an extended pit stop because he did make contact with Alex Moores. So, how's this stop going to be? Right at the end of the pit lane. He gets going, it's not too bad. The question is, where is he in comparison to Hawk? And he's side by side with the HWR. So obviously that should be an easy battle. Of course, the back marker. But Hawk is starting to catch up to Matt Coombs, who's on the soft tyre. So I'm expecting it'll be around lap 32 we are going to see the Dork Racing driver into the pits. So SE pits. But the question is, will he have the pace advantage right now just because he's on newer tyres? So into the pits comes Matt Coombs in the Master Force. Let's see how this is going to work for the Master Force. He gets going. Will Buchan stays out. Of course, he's on the hard tyres. The two Baronassos, they could play an interesting role. Where is he in comparison to Duran? Has the undercut managed to work for Duran? They're going to be very close. And the undercut has worked for Duran. Duran is ahead of Matt Coombs. Absolutely crucially. So, what's the lap times like at the moment? We need to see. So it's a 4.0 gap at the moment. As they head on to the straight. 3.8 is the gap. .9. So what is the... So SE set a faster first is faster. I think Hawk's tyres have gone. Maybe she might have had traffic on that because it was not really a great lap for the Dork Racing driver. But I'm not sure if Essie has been made aware. But it's these two brown asses in the battle for third place. They're going to play an interesting role. As Will Essie sets his fastest lap of the race. Or his fastest first sector. That's his outlap. Of course, the Baronassos are yet to stop. And now Woodward is starting to fall under pressure from Hannah Duran in the second of the two Dork Racing cars. Oh, Duran going for a bit, quite an aggressive move. Alex Moore's dropped to 9th. Rosie O'Driscoll has dropped to 8th. I'm pretty sure that must have been a bad stop. Losing out to Dan Milner and Matt Coombs. Of course, Matt Coombs was ahead anyway. But now the back marker, that's a bit silly there from, I think that's Louis High. I'm not sure. To be going, trying to overtake one of the leaders. And now has completely caused Duran to lose out here. And now Duran is right back into the clutches of Matt Coombs because of all of that. Got 3 retirements. Harvey Williams and Lucas Quintanilla we lost from this race on the first lap. And then we lost Matthew Tewson from this race after an incident. Essie is, I think he is reeling in, Hawk. 3.0 is the gap. I mean, yes, they are starting to come to a bit of traffic, but... I think the thing that might save Duran here in the battle for 5th place, though... Actually, she doesn't have DRS, and of course the Master Force is absolutely electric in a straight line here. And is able to get ahead before the braking zone. So Matt Coombs has now taken P5 from Hannah Duran. But so now on lap 25 of the Turkish Grand Prix, we're approaching the halfway stage of this race. And boy, we have a race on our hands. Oh, Chantal Hawk getting a little bit held up there by Louise Morrow. Not what she would have won. I don't think Morrow should really be trying to get back past. Hawk is through now. Well, Morrow has the inside, but she's through now. I'm not really sure that really was the right thing to do for Louise Morrow, because it has lost Louise Morrow a lot of time. Of course, RTS having a very tough day at the office. Phoebe O'Connor having lost her front wing. Louise Morrow is getting the blue flag. And now she gets out the way for Wesley. But another difficult day for RTS. The upgrades haven't worked. Well, I think the reason is, what they're saying is they put so much into the front end, they tried to upgrade the rear end. Duran has managed to repass Coombs and Woodward. We didn't see that. But yellow out there somewhere. Oh, it's the speed tech of Elliot Everson has gone off the track. And trying to get out the way for the Master Force. So you've got Matt Coombs on Lucy Woodward in the battle for 5th place. Woodward goes to the inside to fence. She knows she is racing for position here because they both have to do the same amount of stops. So obviously she is going to fight this. Easily Brown. So obviously Woodward, a driver who's been waiting Kind of like Nico Hulkenberg in F1, waiting for a chance to get up to a top team. We know she's good enough for it, but she just hasn't had that chance yet. So I was saying about RTS, what they were saying is they put so much onto the front end in terms of downforce that now the rear end is now basically sliding all over the place. But the rear end is all over the place, so they did upgrade the rear wing, but still, the floaty rear end, which has been their real problem, as Hannah Duran gets past Will Buchan for 3rd place. But RTS have already used one of their upgrades. Matt Coombs round the outside. Woodward really over defends there. And Coombs just gets through. Gets straight through. And Alex Moores is starting to get into this scrap. He is fighting his way through the field. So lap 28, 30 laps to go. We're just about to approach the halfway mark of this Turkish Grand Prix. And so you can see Abiy Legit trying really hard, but struggles once you get into the dirty air of another car. Then Muzak's Kerry-Ann Peace ahead of Abiy Legit. Since that off, she has struggled to regain the positions that she has lost in the upgraded Mossad. Hannah Duran has left Coombs for chips here, mainly probably because of the fight with the Brown Assos. So Essie heads into turn 8. Toby Jones is starting to get, after all the incidents that he's had, he's starting to get into the points. To get back towards the points here. So he could maybe get some points from this race. Essie is now really starting to catch Chantal Hawk, who I think's tyres are starting to go off. As Matt Coombs has now caught up to the other Brown Asso of Will Buchan in the battle for 4th place. So, is he going to be able to make the move here? Is Matt Coombs. He's got the run. And Buchan doesn't really fight that as much as Lucy Woodward did. So, is Matt Coombs going to get through though? But Buchan's going to try to hold it round the outside. But Matt Coombs gets through into 4th place. So Toby Jones has managed to pass the Ledger and is now right behind Kerry-Ann Peace and Chloe Carson and the 2 Lockies, who are both struggling with traffic. Oh, Essie's passed. Has Hawk made a mistake somewhere? Well, I think Hawk might have pitted. I'm not sure. Yep, Hawk's been in for her 2nd stop. So she's going to have to pace over Essie. Essie's crossing the start-finish straight now. So now is the time. She really... I've just heard that she's been told on the team radio, okay, Hawk, okay, Chantal, attack, attack. That basically means it's a time she has to hit every apex. If she wants to win this race, she has to, of course, obviously make sure she gets through the back markers without a problem. She has to hit every apex and drive every lap like a qualifying lap. Because she knows what pace Willessie is capable of. We know what Willessie is capable of in the Roca, how much he is capable of getting out of the car. And that is not the place you want to have traffic at all into turn 8. And this is costing Hawk quite a lot. Oh, a bit of contact there. That's not going to help her, especially if she has damage. This is really not what Hawk needs here. Because she's really losing out here. This could potentially be deciding the race. I mean, I think she's going to get through now. But this could be... No, O'Connor stays ahead. I'm not sure what those 2 RTSs are doing. Morrow gets through. This could potentially decide the race here. O'Connor finally gets out of the way, but that cost Hawk quite a lot of time. And that could have potentially decided the race. Oh, Morrow trying in her efforts to get out of the way. I think she's got the message that she needs to get out of the way, which she does. So Hawk has finally cleared the traffic. But Essie's way in the distance now, and they both have to stop again, but they both have to stop again one more time. Hawk's on the better tyres. Let's see what the gap actually is. Live Racers is proving a little bit unreliable today. So I don't have any idea of the gap. So Essie going into the final corner, so really, Hawk does... I think it's still possible for Hawk, but... she really would not have wanted... That really would not have helped her. Those 2 RTSs. 20-second gap it is at the moment. But Essie's got a whole load of traffic of his own to negotiate. Well, Live Race is updating itself. It's apparently a 14, like around a 10-second gap. Essie's now got traffic of his own to lap. Firstly, in the form of Ben Blakemore in the Shantana, who he should be able to get past. Dan Milner's got ahead of Lucy Woodward. Well, Essie has to go onto the grass. Yellow out there somewhere. What has happened? Couldn't see what happened there. Essie had to use the grass a little bit there. But Milner's got ahead of Woodward. I think it might have been Kerry-Ann Peace who was the reasoning for the yellow flag. Because she's now dropped to 16th when she was ahead of the likes of Leggett previously. She had an oversteering moment, but it... Oh, there's an HWR off. That will obviously cause a yellow flag. That's Louis Hyde. A lot of drivers making mistakes when trying to move over. It's a race here. You need to be really careful here, Will. Because that curb can get people off. And the Tove has rolled out of David Bland as a result of having to go onto the curb. But for Essie, that is some back markers gone. So that's some of the... He didn't lose as much time as Hawks did. Let's see how Bland, he actually turned over. And then got bashed over by the Shantana. I think it might have been Will Buchan the reason. Or Will Buchan's been in for his one and only stop, as has Lucy Woodward. So the two Brown Assos have been in for their one and only stop. In terms of strategy, in terms of who I think is going to win this race, in terms of strategy, Chantal Hawk has given it her all, but did lose at least 5 seconds when trying to pass those RTSs. So I would put my money, I think it's now starting to look good for Will Essley to take a third win of the season. I don't want to curse it, but it's definitely Essley's to lose at the moment. Of course, it was this race last year that his season started to fall apart, and we all thought throughout many races that it was all starting to slip away from him. It was this race last year after there was a whole controversy about him being sent to the back of the grid because people thought he intentionally held up Alex Moores to stop him from getting pole. But, and many people had with that controversial penalty as Alex Moores, I think, is about to get past Rosie O'Bristol here. He just breezes past the Coon GP. He over-defends a little bit. I'd actually say Moore's my driver for the day, to be honest. Considering he has forced his way through the field. Jack Baldwin down in 17th is struggling to fight his way through. As Lucy Woodward trying to get past Kieran Hardy in the battle for 9th. Obviously Hardy has to stop again, Woodward doesn't. A bit of contact there, but Hardy gets the better acceleration off the corner, and I think Hardy's going to maintain the place. Remembering it was, as I said, this time last year that all his woes mid-season, which ended up in us all thinking Alex Moores has won the title basically after Singapore. It all happened from then up until Singapore. And we all thought it was all slipping away from it. That's where it all started, obviously, the whole controversy. Well, Hardy runs very wide, and Goodwood gets through. Bit of a mistake there from Kieran Hardy. Actually, a little bit of sleep there from Kieran Hardy. But it was, as I said this time last year, of course, there could be a late twist in the tail with 20 laps to go. There could be reliability issues, there's back markers to lap, so a lot can happen. Yellow out there, as I say that. And Elliot Everson has retired from the race. That's what I think it was. So what was the reasoning for him having to retire? Oh, he had an incident in the pits. Not sure what the yellow flag was for. See who has dropped down the order. Can't really see anything noticeable. Jack Gordon's really strong. He's been behind Phillips for quite a while. I think maybe his car's damaged from the first lap. When I was saying it all could unravel, then there was a yellow flag. I thought, oh, this could be Estley stopping with some sort of mechanical problem. Apparently, it was a wheel issue for. Oh, David Bland has gone. That's what the yellow flag, the recent yellow flag, was for. He's had to stop the car with an engine failure, so David Bland is out of the race. And I believe it's going to be this lap we're going to see the second round of pit stops. It was lap 20 SC pitted, and lap 40 we are on now. Duran's got her pit signal on. Yellow out there again. Who's had a problem, I wonder? James Lane. He loses it, and he's out of the Grand Prix. There are back marks ahead, so if I was Essie, I would be pitting this lap. Don't see any sign of the signal yet. Duran is coming in this lap. Essie's in this lap. He's coming in at the end of this lap. The championship leader and the race leader is coming in at the end of this lap. So, Will is in. A lot of debris on the pit entrance from Elliot Everson's car. Let's see how the Anataroka team are going to get this stop. Of course, travelling down on the pit limiter must feel like an age. He gets going. It's a decent stop from the Anataroka crew. He is free to go to the end of the race. So Chantal Hawk still has to stop, and she's only far up the road. I think it's going to be a bit of a tall order for the Dork Racing driver, to be honest. I think she's going to have to hope for something to happen to Wesley, to be honest, to win this race. I think that's what she needs to hope for. So, Dan Milner, apparently it seems is staying out, as Coombs comes into the pits. Let's see how Coombs is going to get this stop. He has to wait though. It's an awful stop for Matt Coombs. He gets going now, but that's an awful stop. So Matt Coombs down into 6th behind Will Buchan. That was a lackluster stop for Coombs. And is way behind Duran now. Milner's got to pit still. I think he will be behind Coombs, probably behind Woodward as well. And Milner really losing out behind Louis Hyde. Kind of a similar manner to the way Hawk lost out. When trying to lap the two RTSs. So where is Coombs? He's only going down the main straight. This could be quite close between the two marshals. Alex Moore is getting past Lucy Woodward. And Milner's behind O'Driscoll. O'Driscoll has jumped Milner. Yellow out there. I'm assuming that was probably a DNF from someone. Not sure who. Oh, there's contact. Rosie O'Driscoll and the Speed Tech coming together. O'Driscoll rejoins. And now that's dropped her down the order. Once I was trying to look at who caused the yellow flag. Might have been Legit, because she's quite a way down from where she was. No, she's just pitted. So Alex Moore's up into 6th. Where can he get up to? 3rd, I'd say, is possible for. I don't think 3rd. I think 3rd is going to be a. I think the best Moores can hope for is 4th. But let's have a look at what happened with O'Driscoll and the Speed Tech. Oh, O'Driscoll's gone off. There goes her race. It's been a very difficult day for Coombs GP. Oh, making contact with Phoebe O'Connor. Scrappy day. Yellow out there again. So many yellow flags. Phoebe O'Connor RTS having a scrappy day. Of course, that car being all over the place. O'Driscoll losing her front wing. And look at how close Esley is now starting to get to Chantal Hawk. I'm pretty sure she is going to be pitting soon, is the Dork Racing driver. And Esley might actually make the move on track even before she comes in. I think Hawk Prix has another couple of laps left to go on this strategy. Now Esley has to lap Leggett. Oh, not the best way of doing it. And Leggett down the inside of Hawk. And Hawk comes into the pits. Esley's going to get past Leggett here. So Chantal Hawk into the pits for her final stop. And it's an awful stop. It's getting all bad to worse for Hawk. So when's she going to get going? She's got going now. Is she going to be ahead of Duran even? It's going to be close, certainly. But Duran is ahead. I mean, yes, Hawk will have more pace, but Hannah Duran is now ahead. As Esley has lapped Toby Jones. Rosie O'Driscoll, I think that's O'Driscoll. The race leader. Oh, Hawk's been off, and that's there goes the front wing on Chantal Hawk, and that's the race completely ruined for the Dork Racing driver. She loses her front wing. That's her race done. Yellow out there again. Ben Blakemore, so many of them. And now Rosie O'Driscoll behind is actually keeping up with Will Esley. Now Chantal Hawk has to pit for a new front wing. Louise Morrow getting going from a bit of a strife. She's got going. And now she is going to drop all the way down the points. As O'Driscoll there getting past Esley. Only Esley has just been told to just let her go. Because she seems to have more pace. It's been a difficult season for Hawk so far, and it's continued. After looking like she could fight for the win, but then she got caught up with those RTSs. And then that also basically really kind of put her in this position to have been taken off. Well, she made the mistake herself, but then got collected. She's catching up to Lucy Woodward now after 4 stops. Matt Coombs is catching up to Will Buchan for the final podium spot. So that 48, it's not been a thriller so far, but it's been reasonable this race has. And now she can have a go. This is the corner she did go off at, so she's going to need to be careful. And yet she does remember that, of course. So she is careful. Matt Coombs is now right behind Will Buchan. And I wouldn't be surprised if Coombs makes the move soon. Alex Moores is starting to come into this as well, so he could now possibly get a podium out of this. As Matt Coombs gets down the inside of Will Buchan. A little bit of contact, but Matt Coombs is through. He's been on the podium the past 3 times here. So he could possibly be on the podium a 4th time. Hawke has managed to pass Lucy Woodward as someone drops out from the top. Oh yeah. She was in 8th before, so Hawke has passed Woodward. Alex Moores is catching Will Buchan here, so 8 laps left to run in this Grand Prix. That's an 8, that's a Shantana with an engine failure. That's Ben Blakemore. That will mean it will be a double retirement for Shantana. So Ben Blakemore is about to retire from the race. Looks like it is going to be a double retirement for Shantana. It's going to be a double retirement. A very disappointing day at the office for Manic Motorsports, who obviously run the Shantana operation. And he's going to stop almost in the way of Louise Morrow, but he's now left the game. But Wesley does know that he doesn't really need to absolutely try to lap O'Driscoll. He's got a good gap. If he just keeps it together without any reliability issues, he is going to win this race. So, but Chantal Walker's going at really good pace here on the soft tyres. She is going at really good pace. So she could make up some good positions. With Alex Moores. Catching up to Will Buchan. I mean, STC, but do I just wonder, will we have a late twist in the tail of this race? We have seen it, it's CRC, so true CRC style. could we see a late twist in the tail? I mean, I think third is the maximum Alex Moores is going to be able to get. So, I mean, the gap would be up at 41 points. But if SC DNFs and then Alex Moores is able to get second, the gap will be down to 13 points. As Moores right behind Will Buchan in the battle for 4th place. Chantal Hawk right behind Dan Milner. Let's see if she's going to be able to make the move. Alex Moores, I'm pretty sure, is going to have to straight on screen. I think this might be a simple move into turn 1. No, not quite. Hawk's going to think about it going into turn 1. Alex is going to dive it up the inside into turn 3. Alex Moores, but Buchan has the inside for 4. But Moores has taken 4th place from. It's been a great drive for Alex Moores to be able to get up to 4th place. As Chantal Hawk right behind Dan Milner after losing her front wing, which cost her probably a 2nd place finish. But she's got good pace because she even catches up to Alex Moores, considering that on the soft tyres she was the fastest person on the track. She's the fastest on the track. She's got the fastest lap. Is Hawk going to try it up the inside? She's going to try to fight her way around the outside up towards turn 12 into 13. She tries to make it around the outside but not quite able to do it. Now looking back from Dan Milner, heading up towards the first corner. DRS wide open, heading up towards turn 1. Obviously closing it. They have all been closing it quite a way before the corners in the DRS zone. SC, we've been told, is just managing the pace. Not really in any rush to lap the cars. Not putting himself in any rush to put a lap on anyone. But he can basically lose his front wing and still win it. SC clearly not in any rush to lap these cars. Just bringing the car home, I'm pretty sure. I mean, he probably would like to get fastest lap as well, but you don't get any points for fastest lap. You get the points for winning. And risking something for that you don't get any points for 25 points is just not worth it. As Chantal Hawk's going to try it up the inside. It's a very banzai move. She goes across the corner. And Milner, surely she's going to have to give that up, because she did go across the corner there. I mean, she kind of had to avoid contact. Surely she's going to have to give that up. Because that was definitely over the curb. I think she tried to let him back through. But she's pulling away. But if I was her, I'd be letting him back through, because if you get a time bound, it'll probably be something that's going to drop her behind Dan Milner. And we are being told that that is being investigated. And we are being told 5-second time penalty for Chantal Hawk. So Chantal Hawk's been handed a 5-second time penalty. As Alex Moore's starting to catch up to Matt Coons, but he's starting to slip away a little bit. But Chantal Hawk's got a 5-second time penalty, so if she wants a good result here, I think 5th is probably her best chance. She's going to have to pass the Baronasso of Will Buchan and then make a 5-second gap. I think anything beyond that is a pretty tall order. Pretty much a bit of a tall order for her. With 4 laps to go. Toby Jones has got ahead of Kieran Hardy. He's driven well. Not spoken much about him, but he's driven well as well. Not as he hasn't absolutely zipped his way through the field. I mean, he made a few mistakes at the start, and he didn't really like seize his way through the field like Alex Moores has done. But one person who has struggled to make it through, compared to the last time out in Sochi where he pulled off a good drive, he has just not been able to do it. As Chantal Hawk goes for the outside of Will Buchan in the battle for 5th on the road. But she hasn't quite been able to get it done yet. But she's going to have this second burst of DRS down the straight. And I think she is going to go for it going into turn 1. Buchan goes to the inside to defend. And Hawk gets through. Buchan really over-defended there. Will Buchan really over-defended there. And now has lost out to Chantal Hawk, who might be able to extend that gap. And now Will Buchan is under pressure from Dan Milner. So, penultimate lap for Wellesley. Just hearing Wellesley's just been told on the team radio, okay, penultimate lap, Will, don't risk anything. I mean, because Alex Moore's in 4th place, even though he does still get 12 points, this would be quite a relief for Wellesley. So, yellow flags out there for someone, not any of the top runners. It might have been legit because it looks like she was just rejoining from something. I think that might have been a DNF. Louise Morrow has gone from this race. Trying to go for the move and just really overdoing it on the curve. Scrappy afternoon for Louise Morrow, to say the least. As Hawk is putting away here from Milner, who's actually managed to pass Will Buchan. Let's have a look at the replay. So Milner passes Buchan down towards turn 11. It's been a fascinating race here today. One that looked like it was going to be fought between two drivers, between two of the best drivers on the grid as well, Wellesley and Chantal Hawk. As Hannah Duran now puts a lap on Max van der Garde. So, final lap. Wellesley has started. Alex Moores, I don't think is going to be able to catch Matt Coons. But Chantal Hawk is really pulling away here from Dan Milner. Has to be said, I swear she's pulled away like 3 seconds in one lap. Wait, what can you say for this guy, Wellesley? I mean, he has had to fight for it in a way, but when others have problems, he's been there to just keep his cool. Been a very measured drive for the championship leader, who, if he can just make it round the final 2 corners, is about to extend his championship lead. Wellesley, the championship leader, the reigning champion. He's behind the back marker, Kieran Hardy. He doesn't have to risk it. He can just go past him and you just let him go. But he now heads into the final corner. It is Wellesley who takes his 3rd victory of the 2016 season. Esli wins the Turkish Grand Prix. 2nd, it's going to go to Hannah Duran, it looks like. Providing she doesn't collide with the Lockie of Kerry-Ann Peace. And Hannah Duran takes second. Matt Coombs is going to take a podium. I'm not sure if Hawker's done enough to keep her 5th place. I think it's going to be very marginal. Alex Moore's trying to get past Matt Coombs, but it is going to be Matt Coombs who is going to take the podium here at Istanbul Park. Alex Moore's fights back to 4th, but still he has to rue a loss of points. Chantal Hawk takes 5th on the road, but is it enough to stay ahead of Milliner? Need to actually have a look at the times. Is it enough to stay ahead of Milliner? No. But it is enough to stay ahead of Buchan. So Chantal Hawk will be classified 6th in the final result. She didn't quite do enough. By a matter of tenths of a second. But Wesley extends his lead in the drivers' standings. I'm about to put the Rate the Race link up in the description once the standings are done. But a fairly interesting race that we have seen here today. It's Wesley who is victorious at the Turkish Grand Prix. The championship leader. It's all just falling into place for him this year, isn't it? It's just falling into place. And actually, Hannah Duran has moved ahead of Alex Moores in the standings. In a fairly interesting race. A 40-point lead he now has. Yanasa Roka have extended their lead. Dork are now ahead of Coombe GP, although I think they were before. Mars Force are now back ahead of Gindana. Baronassa have gained points in the Drivers' Championship. Well, Buchan's gained points. He's up into 7th ahead of the likes of Legit, Tucson, Carter, Bland. I'll be right back. Then it's time for the podium. Then there will be the Rate the Race link. So now I'm going to put the Rate the Race link and the Driver of the Weekend link in the form. Just going to make sure that in the actual final result, Hawk's time penalty is applied. I can't at the moment because It's just updating itself. But I can put the rate the race link up. That is if Google Drive is going to load. And thank you to everyone for tuning in. I know I did go into this race. As I said, I'm really sorry that Sochi wasn't able to be streamed. But thank you to everyone who's stuck by the league and obviously accepted that there was absolutely nothing I could have done. And I can't say that the network issues are fully solved yet. But I can't say that they are fully solved. Because you never know, it might go down for next week. Where obviously there's Monaco. And the Rate the Race link is in the description now, so you can rate the race. But, of course, it's Monaco next week. Of course, that could be quite an interesting one. Hopefully you won't have the dramas that we had last year, where obviously there was the bugged walls and plenty of problems that caused the race to have to be actually abandoned and stopped. Half points had to be awarded. Half points had to be awarded for that race. Hopefully we won't see the same this year. Of course, it's a week break before we do head to the duel in the CRC calendar in Monte Carlo. But in an interesting race. So we're waiting for the podium. And firstly, I can actually add the time onto. Gotta just log in first. Obviously, the time penalty that Hawk received for cutting the corner in the process of trying to pass Dan Milliner. 5-second time penalty. But making sure it's all added properly and it says it properly on live races. Yep, so the final result will be on live races on the Twitter. As we're now just waiting for the podium. So it is all getting ready. For the main event of the weekend. We've seen some great racing this weekend, of course, in all the junior divisions as well. Okay, so here we go. So now it's time for the podium. So here we go. In third place, it is Matt Coombs with his first podium of the season. In second place, it is Hannah Duran for Dort. And the winner, Will Esley. And for him and the Anatharoka team, it is the British National Anthem. Now, the trophy presentation is about to take place. It's Will Esley who is victorious in Istanbul. So, Will Esley holds the trophy aloft. The Constructors' Trophy is handed. It's another win for Anatharoka. Second place trophy is about to be handed to Hannah Duran. And the third place trophy handed to Matt Coombs, his first podium for Masterforce. And now the podium party is about to leave. The time for the photograph. But now it is time for the drivers to let loose with the champagnes. It's Will Esley who's victorious once again at Istanbul. So, 5 races in, 3 out of 5 for Will Esley. It's proving to be a fantastic start to the season for Will Esley. 3 wins and 2 second places. It's proving to be a fantastic start to the season for Will Esley. So, in a very interesting race. Something really to note. So many things to note. In the championship standings, Hannah Duran has moved ahead. Has actually moved ahead of Alex Moores. He is having a bit of a tough time at the moment. He's had a win, a second, a fourth, 2 fourths, and a DNF. That's what Esley's season has. That's what Moores' season has been so far. But there's so many things. For a while, it looked like Chantal Hawk could have a say in the race if she had managed to catch up. But afterwards, she just got held up by those RTSs, losing time. And then obviously came into contact with, I believe it was David Bland, and it was Tom Mungle, and lost her front wing. And then had to pit. She did recover to 6th. 5th on the road, but then had a time penalty, but still a disappointing race for the Dork racing driver. Really a case of what could have been but wasn't. But an interesting race that we just saw. I kind of got to wrap up soon, but what an interesting race we saw. Anyway, it's time for me to wrap up now because I've got to publish, and I'm a bit busy afterwards. Got to publish on the site. But thank you very much for watching what has been a fantastic weekend here at Istanbul Park. Obviously, next week we head to Monaco for round 6. Hopefully, it can be live streamed, and I can tell you that after so many things, the track is a lot better this year. The bog balls have been sorted, so hopefully we won't have the glitches that we saw last time out. But thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in hopefully for a live stream, because it could go down, and we'll see you in Monaco next week. Goodbye.